Hello, welcome to me wearing one of the 5 sweaters I always wear. In my defense, I already have plenty of photos of me wearing this sweater, so I can just continuously use them for thumbnails. Was that my whole entire decision making on making or wearing this sweater? Yes. It's fine. Welcome to the February TBR that I completely forgot that I have to do. So it's going up on not a usual day for me, because I'm great at this. Just absolutely spectacular. And that's fine. I do have my computer here because I have the list. It's not really a list. Here, so that's fun. And yeah, this is going to be a very romance heavy TBR. Which is fine. I don't know what I'm reading for the weekend reading vlog yet, because TBR jar. And I'm gonna figure that out in that vlog. But all the book clubs, I try to choose one or two that I try to read from, and I think there's like 4 or 5 that and they are all doing books that either I am not interested in. I try to only pick ones if they were already on my TBR. So that makes sense, right? Because there's a lot of books on my TBR. So none of them were previously on my TBR, or I have already read them before and I don't feel like reading them again. So there's not going to be any of those. I don't know what the one for HG and I is yet. Better not be a romance. Hear me out. I really need the TBR jar to be on my side and give me a non-romance, because I think if I did the math properly, and if I could talk properly, I think there's 7 out of 9 of these are romance, and one of them I think is like a subgenre of romance, like it's at least romantic. Only one of these, am I sure, is not a romance, and that's because it's a mystery thriller. And I'm scared, and we're not going to talk about it right now. But yeah, basically all I have to talk about is 2 vlogs and the one book that I have from NetGalley that goes up or gets published in February. So I gotta read that book, right? And whatnot. Now, because of that, if you are the type of person who would rather have a secret of what I'm reading, for vlogs, just don't watch this, because this is gonna be very heavy, me talking about vlogs, but I'm also gonna try to do this fast. The one from NetGalley is Curled Up with an Earl by Amy Rose Bennett. I don't remember much about it because I read the synopsis a month ago at this point. Well, not actually a month ago, but maybe 2 weeks ago. I know it's a historical romance. I have the audiobook, so it won't be too hard to read all of it, right? Even though it comes out the 7th of February. So I gotta get on that. And I'm also gonna try to read the first book in the series, because this is a sequel. I don't think it's a big deal if I don't read the first one, right? But I'm gonna try to read it before the end of this month, and we'll see. But yeah, the synopsis intrigued me. I don't remember what it is, but I remember that. And so I gotta read that, right? And then that's that. The rest are for vlogs. There is one where I read books I got for free from Amazon, free ebooks. There's a longer story on why and what and all that fun stuff. And if you know, you know. If you don't, I'll talk about it in that actual vlog. But for that vlog, I am reading 3 books, all of them kind of romance heavy. I'm not even looking at a list for these because I know these too well. Except I kind of do switch the synopses of the first 2. Okay, weird cut because dogs. But also I decided to actually pull up the books because I know the titles of them, but I was like, hey, maybe I should actually state who the author is. The first one is Teton Sunrise by Peggy L. Henderson, which apparently is currently still free. We love that. But this one is the one where, I'm pretty sure if I remember the synopsis properly, something about money troubles in the family or something like that, and so she is basically put up for auction, and her brothers bet best friend who she always had a thing for shows up back in town. He's got money now. So basically he sees her there on auction and he's like, I gotta save her. I have money, might as well use it for good use, right? Upstanding, love it. Except by doing that, they are technically legally married. And then I assume romance happens. I don't know. Does it look like I know what's happening? And yeah, it's I mean, you can see the cover right now. I'm excited, I guess. And then the second one is Ruby's Passion by Brooke Stanton, which is the one that I always switch the synopses with Teton Sunrise. I always want to say Surprise. I don't know why. But Ruby's Passion is about it's like the way it's described in the synopsis is a little weird, but basically I think it starts with their wedding, Ruby's wedding to this guy, whose name I don't know, and then when it cuts to the wedding night, and she's expecting some spicy stuff, but something happens, and there's like a secret of his or something like that comes out, and it kind of like ruins everything, and then they have to work, like, is trying to work through that to still be a couple and all this stuff, because they're married, but also like what this secret like ruined everything. Does it look like, I don't know. It's got a Western vibes based off the cover that you can totally see right now. I mean, they're looking at each other lovingly on this cover. I'm looking at it right now. So like, yeah, did I choose this book? Did I pick this book up purely because I wanted to know what this secret of his is that like ruins everything? Yes, that is 100% why I picked up this book. Like, I don't care about anything else. I just want to know what that secret is, and I'm hoping that I figured it out in the first 25%. Okay, I have high hopes. And yeah, and then the last one is one that I'm very excited for, which is The Librarian and the Orc by Finley Fenn. I mean, you see the cover. I'm in my Katie Robert era anyways, so like, might as well go strong into this. I'm expecting some spice, okay? I'm expecting a lot of spice, let's be real. I think this is like a third book in a series or something, but I did read the synopses of the earlier ones, and I was like, meh, this one is the only one that really intrigued me. Basically, the heroine is either a librarian or she owns the library, I'm not sure which, and she's just living her best life with these books, me too fam, and then she notices this orc who is in her library all the time reading books, and she's trying to get him to leave, not because like any preconceived notions of like orcs or anything that I'm expecting to like be a thing, but because he makes her feel spicy thoughts, and that wasn't a proper sentence, but whatever. She feels spicy things for him. She's thinking some things, and she needs to get him out before she acts on her desires. And I'm expecting some table bending, okay? Like, yeah, you get with a cover like that. I'm having some expectations, and someone better be bent over a table. In this library, probably. Like, listen, it's pure chaos, and yeah, I'm excited. And then the last 5 books we have to talk about are the 5 for the Pink Monochromatic Reading Vlog, the second to last one. Very exciting. February is romance month. It's not really a surprise that a lot of these are romances. Hear me out. Because when I was originally making these lists, I was trying to find ones that weren't actually romance. I think It Ends With Us was originally on this list, and I removed it and switched it with the last one I'll talk about because I have many fears. One, because I'm scared of Colleen Hoover, but 2, because like without that book, this is very romance heavy. But it works out because February is the romance month. We all know this. I may be sad and alone, but I can read romance books. And I am in my romance era, so let's go. To give editing self a break of putting up book covers, I'll talk about one of the two physical ones. I do own 3 of them though, which is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Is this pink or is it purple? Like, I know it's a gradient and I don't know which one it's for of, but when I asked people, because I'm colorblind, they said it works for pink. So here we are. I know there's something about subway/trains, maybe time travel, I don't know, and some lady lovin'. I've read it Red, White, and Royal Blue. I really enjoyed it. I think I have it as 5 stars. Honestly, who knows with me? You know, and last time I read it was like a few years ago, and I read it in under 24 hours. And that's like a pretty chunky book to do that in. So I think I could get through this pretty fast. I think Casey McQuiston's writing is conducive for me speed reading. And yeah, that's fun. But also I'm kind of scared. Like, I have high hopes because the only other book by McQuiston that I've read is one that I really loved. And also this is like something that seems like my type of book, but also like any of the more recent books do not seem like my vibe. And I know people either vehemently love this or hate it. It's kind of no one in the middle. Like, people either love this book or really don't like it. I think H tried to read it at some point and DNF'd it. So that's fun. And I'm scared, but like not as scared as the last book I'm going to talk about. And yeah, the most scary part is that this thing is thick. I think I wrote it down as like being 417 pages. Well, the text is kind of big, so I got that going for me. But yeah, there's that one. And then there is Nathaniel Seeks Human by Penny Reed, which is also a kind of longer one. Ow. Which is an ebook I own. And I feel like I have to explain. So, I think it's called Truth or Beard, which is the first book in the original series that this book is a spin-off of, right? I read it, I think in 2020. I rated it 4 stars, I'm pretty sure. I really liked it. I really think Penny Reed's writing, especially character writing, could be for me. And so I wanted to test out one of her other books before like I start adding a bunch of them to my TBR, because that thing's too big. And I saw that Neanderthal Seeks Human was like on sale, or I think it was like free on Kindle at one point, something like that, like forever ago. And yeah, so here we are. Basically, the original series is all these brothers that grew up and live in this town and all this stuff, right? And they've got one sister, and she lives in the city, I believe. And that is the heroine of this book. She is their sister. Is a spin-off series about her, and I think it's her knitting group in the city, and them finding romance. Okay. I don't know really anything else plot-wise or anything. But I want to see if Penny Reed is for me officially. So here we are. And then there's the Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot, which is pretty short. I didn't check how long the audiobook is, but I did just put it on hold at my library, and it was like less than a week long wait, so you know, that's fun. Do we need to talk about it? No. Listen, I need a lighthearted read with all this heavy, some romance, like all this stuff. I need a lighthearted read. I think this will be one of those. I think I've read a Meg Cabot before. I'm not 100% sure. I do plan to read another one later this year in another vlog, so interesting. But yeah, I'm kind of scared about the characters themselves, because I've started DNFing books more when I really don't like the characters, because that kind of ruins the book for me. And a lot of the times those types of books are either for the same age range as the Princess Diaries, about the same age group as the Princess Diaries, or written the same time as the Princess Diaries. So like, I'm scared that it will not be for me, but I think it's like really, really short. Like, I'll check Storygraph to see how long the audiobook is. I don't think I should have looked up like content warnings when I was on Storygraph because I'm scared. Racism, body shaming, bullying, cancer, fat phobia, and ableism. There's also minor stalking, toxic relationship, and alcohol, so that's fun. I don't know. Apparently there's like a version that's narrated by Anne Hathaway. I don't know if it's the same version that I have from the library. That'll be interesting to see. But basically it seems to be like just under 6 hours. So I can read this in like 2 hours. Easy book, which is actually what I needed. Okay, like sometimes you need some easy books, fam. And have a good time. And then I guess if we can talk about the other physical book, which is Dating Dr. Dill. Which, you know, I'm intrigued by, and whatnot. I mean, I don't, what much was this? This was March, is book. I tend to, when I regularly got book of the month, I would tend to, if none of the other ones really, like, spoke out to me as, like, ones that I've already heard about or anything like that, instantly just get the romance. Because I don't think I've ever, like, viscerally disliked one of the romances. I think there's, like, maybe a few on my unhaul pile, like, people we meet on vacation, but, like, none of them are below 3 stars. But I've had, like, really bad luck with some of the mystery thrillers and some of the fantasies, and whatnot. So I tend to just, go for the romances, because I tend to at least enjoy them. That's a lie. Holiday Swap I rated 2 stars. Fudge. I forgot about that one. But yeah, I tend to have better luck with them, so I tend to pick them up. And then I noticed the pink background, so I was like, you know what? I'm putting this vlog, because I have so many Book of the Month books, and I gotta read them. So here we are. I don't know much about it. Let's be real. Should I read the synopsis? Let's go. Let's see. Alright, I did remember this stuff about the house. Basically, her father, decides that he is going to sell, her late mother's house, and, she really wants this house. So they make a deal, a little weird, that if she gets engaged, I believe, is it engaged? Yes, if she gets engaged within 4 months, then she gets to keep the house, right? And then there's this doctor guy. I think he's like a personality on like a host show or something, or host on the show, who has goals to like open a health center and whatnot, right? You know, just generally a good guy trying to use this fame to open up a good thing and all this stuff, but for that you need donors with big pockets and all that fun stuff. And then there's like a publicized fight that they have for some reason, I don't know, and it goes viral, and so the only man in her life is him, and she needs to get engaged for this thing. So I assume they make like a deal to help each other out, and romance happens. And whatnot. Listen, all I'm saying is the way she looks on this cover, I'm just saying she could step on me, and I'd say thank you. And yeah, that's it for the romances. And then we got the one mystery thriller, I'm Scared, It's Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. If you have not seen a few of these, let me lay it down for you. When I was making these lists, decided pretty early on that the Riley Sagers, because at that point it was just the original 4, the first era of Riley Sager that I call it, where they are very monochromatic for the covers. So I originally was like, you know, those would be great for these videos. And by that point, I'd already read Home Before Dark, which is the green one, before I started making these. So that's oddly enough, the only one I've enjoyed so far. I have read the blue and red one in their respective vlogs. Spoilers, I didn't like them. Listen, there was a straight up rant in the red one. If you just want to watch pure chaos, watch the red one. But yeah, I did not like it. The good news is I can read Riley Sager's really fast. His writing is very conducive for me just reading straight through and whatnot. The issue is his characters. And I've realized this. I think it was been such a long time since I read Home Before Dark, and I did glimpse in my notes about it because I was taking notes. I don't know why. I think it was back when I was still in school, so I was taking notes on everything. But basically, the whole like premise, the mystery itself, what's happening, I really enjoyed in that book. And the whole reason why I rated it 4 and not 5 stars is because some of the character interactions, and how they react to things and just characters in general, I was kind of iffy about. And let's just say it's kind of been an issue, but worse, on all the other ones I've read. And also, I don't care about the mystery or any of the other stuff. And yeah, so I'm scared. I've also heard that Lock Every Door is the one that is the most obvious, mystery-wise. So, I do know, there's, like, something to do with, like, squatting. Not really, but, basically there's this woman who needs money, and whatnot, and there's, like, this really, elite apartment building or something like that, where basically they pay, people who are like in their 20s who need money and whatnot to come and live in the apartments while they find permanent residence, because like it can't be empty, but like to have someone, all of these elite people, it takes time to like all do all that stuff, right? So they basically pay someone to live there in the meantime, and all that fun stuff. A little weird, but whatever. And then some weird, so basically the main character, decides to do this, and some weird stuff starts happening. And I'm scared. I'm really scared. Listen, I'm gonna try not to DNF it, but we'll see. I really should have DNF'd the last one I read, but we'll see. And this is currently the last Riley Sager I plan to ever read. The other ones don't really see my speed. There's the one in the car, road trip serial killer ? I'm not intrigued by, and I've heard pretty bad things about. There's The House Across the Lake is that one, and I think that's the title of that one. I was low-key intrigued by, but I haven't heard the best things about it, so I'm like, meh. So at this point, like, it's gotta come out with something that I'm like instantly like, this seems like completely my type of book, and I read it. Like, I'm not gonna just read these books that don't see my speed, because I don't think he's for me, and that's fine. But I am going to read this book, finally, and finish off my Riley Sager era, and whatnot. And yeah, I think that's the last one that I have to get from the library. Listen, only 2 of these books are ones that I have to get from the library. I own every single other one. Love that for me. But I think I'm like first in line on the wait list, so I'm not too worried about it. And I think I'm getting the ebook. So yeah, that's everything. Those are the 9 books, if I can do math properly. Books I plan to read in February. I am going to go edit this promptly, because this has to go up in like a few days. Love that for me. So I will talk to you all later. The next video that goes up should be the last of the weekly reading vlogs that goes up this Wednesday. Instead of a read with me, it's gonna be that on the Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Linked above in the cards is going to be the playlist for TBRs and wrap-ups. That's your thing. Linked in the description is all the social media and stuff, so like come hang out with me there. I tend to be on those a lot, especially Goodreads and Instagram recently, so yeah, that's about it. And until next time.